I have a weird story that I would like to tell. I still don't understand what we saw, but regardless, here it goes. When I was 8 to 10 years old, mid-late 90s, there was an arena, forgot name, close to Tompkin and Dundas. I believe it was a skating rink at one point, but eventually it just became an abandoned building before they tore it down and created homes. Arena RD, Mississauga is the specific area. Anyhow, at the time I used to hang out with kids a little older than me, and we all decided we're gonna sneak into the building at night and search the entire place. We arrived just after sundown. We circled the arena, trying to find the best way to get in. Everything was boarded up and chained, but we finally came across a door with a broken window. However, it was a tight fit, and unfortunately, I was the only one who could make it through. Scared out of my mind, I guess the adrenaline and everyone pressuring me, I went through the window, only to notice that the door was locked. I was fucking freaking, but they calmed me down and told me there was another door literally to the left. If I just ran around, I would be able to open it. So be it. I remember not being able to see since it was pitch black, but I managed to find the door and let the group in. It still irks me that nobody handed me a flashlight while I was inside and made me run with no light. Anyway, we started searching the entire place. I remember it being really wet and cold. It was a really weird setting as I was expecting an actual ice rink or something, but it just didn't exist. We continued going through the rooms, not much out of the ordinary, until we heard noises coming from the basement area. We all assumed people must have been doing the same exact thing we were all doing, so we went down some stairs and the sound became a little weirder, almost hissing like. But still, it's just some kids, right? That's what we told ourselves anyhow. I remember there being a lot of rooms in the basement. However, each room seemed to have been wiped clean, except for like falling wood, metal pipes, etc. It just looked really off, but given it was being torn down, none of us thought much of it. We continued to search each room, noticing how some of the rooms had alcohol bottles, blankets, writing on the wall, etc. The tone completely changes for everyone because now we think that people are either living here or partying. We all agree it was the latter, but I still remember everyone not being the same after seeing that. Mind you, as this is going on, the hissing sound is more persistent, but someone mentioned it's just the wind. We all start laughing, trying to boost the morale of everyone's emotions. After leaving the room, we all decided to check out the bathrooms. It still irked me that the bathrooms were in the basement area, but then again, I was a kid, so it probably made sense. This is the part that we still don't understand. We check out the guy's bathroom first and do a thorough search. It was huge for some reason, lots of sinks, lots of toilets, urinals, etc. Someone turns the tap on, only to notice that the water is actually running. This didn't sit well with us because we figured, with how long it's been abandoned, and the fact that they were tearing it down, they for sure would have turned the plumbing off. That said, we decided to check out the girls' bathroom, and this is when things take a turn for the worse. We start hearing other sounds, almost like gurgling. And mind you, I want to leave now, but everyone insists on making sure we're the only ones in here. Like, I wish I could have just left, but clearly that wasn't an option. We enter the girls' bathroom. The sound is getting louder, but they insist on investigating still. When you walk into the bathroom, they have the flashlights facing the stalls, and notice that out of the 6 of them, 1 is closed. I'm telling everyone at this point to leave. However, with everyone being older than me, I guess the anon was too curious to pass up. As we get closer, the stall starts making a noise, almost like someone is trying to open it, but most of the group passes this off as the wind. I'm scared shitless at this point, but we continue to walk closer to it. One of the guys decides to reach out and open the stall. However, the stall is fucking locked. I'm thinking, and I hope everyone else was too, wondering why a stall would be fucking locked in an abandoned arena. So, one of the guys decides he wants to stand on the toilet and see what's in the locked stall. We finally all agree that this is stupid and it's finally time to leave. But nope. This guy's curiosity is getting the best of him. He hops on the toilet and literally yells that we all have to fucking see this. He's saying that there's a fucking hole where the toilet should be. He's literally freaking us all out. So we all end up standing in each stall next to the locked one and are amazed. The guy is fucking telling the truth. We all have our flashlights pointing towards the hole, and this is where shit goes totally south. All of a sudden, and I wish I was fucking lying, some humanoid-like creature starts reaching out of the hole. That's it. We all start running out of the bathroom, screaming our heads off. When we make it to the hallway, we can literally hear the thing screaming and the stall shaking like crazy. I remember tripping going up the stairs and one friend is crying while she is screaming at me to get up. We make a dash for the exit we came in from and don't stop running until we make it home. Most of us lived in the same complex. The strange thing is, I don't remember anyone ever talking about it, not even when we went home. I thought maybe they might have talked among themselves, but no one ever brought it up in front of me. I don't really know what I saw that day, but I know it gives me goosebumps remembering it. It was an experience I'll never forget. Anyway, X, that's my story. If there's any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Was there anything distinct about the thing, apart from it being humanoid? Pretty foggy on the creature thing, but if I remember correctly, it didn't have any eyes, or none that I could see. The arm was really fucking long though. Fingers too, maybe. Size of creature? Something like this maybe? A little smaller. I remember it being darker though. I went to Fleming College in Lindsay. I lived in a suite with 5 other guys. 2 a.m. Wake up needing to pee. Grabbed a flashlight and went into the hall. As I bring my flashlight up, it reveals somebody lying right on the floor in the hallway. Fucking startled. It's a woman with blonde hair wrapped in a red sheet. Come to think of it, one of my roommates spent the night out. He probably brought this girl home and hilariously made her sleep on the floor. Piss and go back to bed. Stepping over the girl both times. Wake up the day after. Run into roommate. Hey man, who was that girl in here last night? He has no idea what I'm talking about. What? Ask all of my other roommates. Nobody knows who I'm talking about. Furthermore, nobody has any red sheets. Be me. Go to abandoned farmhouse at night for spooks. Go through the whole house and find nothing. Go into attic and check floorboards. Everything is legit. Set up a tent and get ready to spend the night. Pass out around 2:30 a.m. Wake up at 3:30. Hear the sounds of moaning. And before just me bro, getting my rocks off. It sounded like someone was injured. Open my tent. Pitch black. The moaning stops. Close the tent and lay back down. Grip my flashlight tight. Pull out a knife and realize how shitty of an idea it was. I hear like people are downstairs having a dinner party, giggling and laughing. Then zip my tent and it all stops. I get out and slowly walk to the attic window, small circular window. Super dark outside, no cars or lights. As I'm turned, the attic door, small square door on the floor, slams upward and makes a loud sound that actually shakes the zippers on my tent. I literally drop a brick. The door is shut and nothing moves. As I slowly walk over, I hear under the steps laughing and giggling again. I stop and feel a gust of wind. Under the 3rd floor, ground 2nd, 3rd attic, I hear full-on stomp running, then hear it go downstairs, then the ground, and it randomly goes back to the 3rd, and the door slams again. I'd see it bounce off the floor. I almost fainted. I begin to hear growls inside the attic with me. Run to the window and push the window open. Each floor has a small balcony. I pull myself out again and begin to climb down, pretty much fall balcony to balcony. As I get on the grass, I can hear all the doors inside the house banging. I run down the driveway in the pitch black wielding a knife. Left all my shit there until the next day. Me and my 2 buddies went and grabbed it all. So my last story happened a couple years back when I lived with my family. Just bought this really nice house. Very old, red brick, 2 floors, basement, nice land. I bought it with the intention of serving the land and building a house to move into and sell this one. Well, that one, since moved. Be me. Have young family. Baby daughter is born and my wife and I decide to move into a house so when she gets old enough, we can have another shit. Old house. Wicked deal. Move in. 2 months go by. Wife starts acting like a torpid cunt. I'm going to work. Come home fake shit. Go outside and figure out what I'm going to do and she constantly shits on them for no reason. Wake up on Saturday morning around 3 a.m. I hear noises and feel shuffling. I wipe the tired from my eyes and when I open them, I see my wife at the end of my bed, knelt over me. I freak out, turning on the lights, and was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She walks around, lays down, and sleeps. Snores really loud, which she never does. Next day, by the way, this is like a month of her acting weird around the house. Hear her talking to herself, laughing to herself, and conspiring. I see her outside, full blown, talking to herself. Call my mom to pick up my baby. Hours later, mom comes, grabs my kid, and leaves. I argue with my wife and take her out to get air. We leave the house for hours and she begins to act normal. She says she doesn't remember anything from the house and everything seems normal. Tell her to stay at my mom's for the night. She agrees. That night, in-house by myself and I hear movement. I began to hear giggling and laughing the exact same way I did in the old farmhouse. Instantly, I knew something was up. I began to hear banging all over the house. I ended up explaining everything to my wife. Figured something may have followed me, so I called a priest one day, a native another, and a Wiccan the next to clean the house, myself and my wife. We ended up selling, to be sure. Be me, 17-year-old Canadian. Be outside with boys walking at dusk. Two of the fellas head home, leaving me and my best friend. Best friend spots a house out in the distance. Looks abandoned, and there's an old car near it. Looks like it's from the 50s. So us being Fallout fans decide to go check it out for fun. Baddecision.exe. We get to the thing, and it's kind of in a field. Smells like rot. The car was neat though. Something scrapes the wall next to us from the inside. Being idiots, we egg each other on to go check it out. We open the door and go inside. Rot smell is even worse. There's a room to the left of us where we heard the scraping. We open up the door. Room's filled with decaying, half-eaten deer. Friend catches a glimpse of a fucked up leg going up into the ceiling. Like something was climbing up there to hide. We get the fuck out. Haven't been back since, but a bit ago or so, some kid disappeared right around the area. He still hasn't been found. The Mandela effect, an experience that a lot of people, some maybe you, have experienced. A classic example is the Bear-Stein Bears now being the Bear-Stain. I was one of those people who grew up knowing about the E, and then being completely shell-shocked that it's now an A. However, something else happened to me. A personal Mandela effect. A vivid memory that I remember almost all too well as a child. I wish to share this story. Will do my best at Greentext, but I might be ass. But here goes. Be me. Be around 8 or 9 years old. It's summer, and father wants to go camping. He has a trailer camper. Decides to go to Alberta, Canada. We're in California, so the travel was long. We reach a camping grounds. Do not remember where exactly, but in my research, it might be in Cataract Creek, because I remember being near a body of water. We do a lot of fishing. Be mesmerized by nature. Father-son bonding.jpg. Dusk falls. We head to camp to cook what we caught. Hear howling as it grows dark. Dad shows concern but shrugs it off. Hour or so later, watching Dad enjoy cooking. Looks up and his expression goes pale. Hear multiple sounds of crunching leaves and twigs. Look over to the noise. See multiple yellow eyes staring at us. Shit bricks and proceed to scream like a girl. Dad immediately grabbed me and runs in the camper. As we did, they ran in growling. Can never forget their eyes, glowing yellow and snarling teeth. Go in trailer just in time. Dad plans to get to the truck with his keys. He then panics, remembering he left them outside. Where those beasts are. Proceed to wait. Every time I peeked over curiously, the biggest one stares me down. Jumps the window, growling. Dad yells at me to stay in cover. Lost track of time, but things finally go quiet. We look over and they are gone. Dad immediately tears it outside while holding me and starts the car. Drives to nearby town and talks to the police. Now it's been 2 years or so ever since this happened. Every time I learn about Innerwood creepy stories, I'm reminded of it. Those eyes staring me down, the growling. I remember it so vividly. And as a teen, my dad sometimes talks about it with me, saying it was the most terrifying thing he has ever experienced. Even do not like the thought of being near an actual wolf. But all of that suddenly changed after I asked my sister about it on my 21st birthday. She has no memory of me going to Canada at all, let alone going away on vacation. When I got a chance to talk to Dad about it, he had zero memory of it too. I ended up asking Canadian friends and they said no wolves usually show up in that area of Canada, that they're usually way further up north. I still worry to this day if it's all just a vivid dream, or just something my head thought up as a child. I had all sorts of weird situations growing up and could mention more, but that's a subject for another time. What are your guys' thoughts? Have you remembered something vividly you've experienced with friends but have zero memory of it? I meant to say 24 or so years, my bad.